Good evening, FBLA. Welcome to Florida's February webinar. I'm Zachary Sahin, your Florida FBLA State President, and I hope that you had a truly spectacular FBLA PBL week. Now to introduce your state officer team. First, we have Nathan Walters, your state reporter. We're having some technical difficulties. Next up is Amanda Gomez, your state parliamentarian.
Hi, everyone.
Following that is Shady Mina, your state secretary.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for watching us today, and we hope that you find a lot of helpful information tonight.
Next up is Alexandria Brown, your Region 1 Vice President, who unfortunately could not join us tonight. Now introducing Ashley Harris, your Region 2 Vice President. Again, we're having a few technical difficulties. And last but not least is Zahra Barrow, your Region 4 Vice President.
Hey, y'all. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. Hope you enjoy the webinar.
In tonight's webinar, we'll be discussing the essentials of FBLA PBL. But before we go any further, I would like to introduce our special guest, the Southern Region Vice President, Kenan Carter.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be joining you all this evening. And on behalf of the National Officer Team, I hope that you enjoyed and participated in the FBLA PBL week and really had an opportunity to elevate your future. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenan, for joining us tonight. Before we go any further, we'll have a brief update from the state team. First off, the survival guide has been completed and sent out. It was sent out in the January update. We've already made certain updates, and we'll be sending those out towards the end of the month. You can access all of this in the last state officer update as well as the one before that. The Google Drive will be sent out in sections. The first section has already been sent out. If you do have any questions, just let us know. You can still also sign up for state officer visits in the link down below. We'd love to visit your chapter and get to know you a little bit better. So Kenan, would you like to share with us what you have planned for tonight?
Sure. So tonight I just basically want to go over a few of the national FBLA programs that are available if you haven't already started or completed one, because our deadlines are coming up very quickly. So first is one of the most beneficial membership programs that we have and offer through FBLA. It's our Business Achievement Awards. Again, there are 4 levels: Future, Business Leader, and America, and you can all receive a lapel pin, a certificate for your participation. But there are a plethora of activities that you can complete and participate in, as far as recruiting new members to planning a community service project and just working towards service, education, and progress. And so if you would like to receive that recognition, you have to have that completed by March 1st. So that deadline is coming up pretty quickly, March 1st. And if you're completing the America level, that deadline is April 25th. Again, and the same goes for our Community Service Awards, which is recognizes members for their extraordinary community service contributions. Again, if you would like to receive recognition for that, you need to have that completed by March 1st as well. Other membership programs that are offered through FBLA is one that's been new this year is our STEM Premier, which is where you can connect with colleges and FBLA members and create an online portfolio. It's kind of like LinkedIn, but for high school students. And I encourage you, if you haven't already signed up, you can receive digital badges for completing the Business Achievement Awards, the Community Service Awards. If you serve as, a district state officer or a state officer within the Florida state team, you can receive digital badges for completing those different activities, as well as our action awareness that is coming to an end as well. So just some few updates on our membership programs, and I hope that you will complete some of these activities, because as I always tell any member that I meet, you can attend all the chapter meetings and go to the state and regional conferences, but until you actually complete some of the activities that are found in our Blue Business Achievement Awards and the Community Service Award, you don't really get the full FBLA membership experience. So I just encourage you all to complete those activities. And if you need help getting started, reach out to me. Coming up in the next membership year, there will be a guide that you can go by that has been the courtesy of our Southern Region Council. So hopefully, if you kind of want to start fresh next year, there will be a guide that will be able to guide you through that process. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you so much, Kenan. We'll now be moving on to the essentials of FBLA. To get us started with teamwork with Shady and Nathan.
So teamwork plays a great role in FBLA. Use it in your chapter level, the district level, the state level, and the national level for sure. We're all one team. We all have the same goal, the same mission to make sure that every FBLA member is successful and to make the most potential out of FBLA. So in our State Fall Leadership Conference, actually, I attended the Disney Techniques of Teamwork, and that was a workshop during the day. So a lot of us did the leadership, some of us did the teamwork, and I was assigned to the teamwork, and I learned a lot of valuable information that taught me what teamwork really is. So I'm going to share with you a couple tonight. And teamwork is pretty much made out of 4 components: cooperation, consciousness, support, and value diversity. Also want to note that trust plays a great role in a successful team. A strong team has to trust all of its members. So what is cooperation? Cooperation is the actions of someone who's being helpful by doing what's wanted or asked to further the common effort. So cooperation is making sure that you attend and that you perform all your duties wisely and that you contribute to the team. Second is consciousness. Everyone accepts and supports the decision and understands the reason for making it. That's where parliamentary procedure comes into play. When you have all these rules, you make sure that you maintain them well. And you want to follow the parliamentary procedure. That way you can reach a specific goal and you maximize your time wisely to reach the final decision. And then you have support, which is to actively help and assist the team to move toward the common goal. That's also where the team where each member plays a great role. If we all do the assigned work and contribute and help each other, we will reach the common goal. And teamwork values diversity. And so to develop and maintain a team that has a wide range of abilities, experiences, thoughts, knowledge, and strength. Take, for instance, the best Florida FBLA state team and the national team. We value diversity. Each one of us is unique and diverse, and we bring a lot to the table in these terms. So you want to make sure that you value each other's mind and thoughts and in each one's say. And then trust. So reliance on integrity, strength, ability of another person. Trust is the foundation upon which a successful team is built. So when the team is cooperating, when they're supporting each other and they're valuing diversity, they will never really be a strong, successful team unless they trust one another. So please trust your teammates. You all have the common goal at the end, and you can all reach it by following these tiny techniques of teamwork. Good luck. Now Nathan will turn it over, and he will talk a little bit more about teamwork as well.
Thanks, Shady. So Shady already talked about a lot of this stuff that I have written down to talk about. But my first thing is to make sure that everybody on the team understands the goal and they are devoted and motivated to accomplishing that goal. Because at the end of the day, if there are some people who are still confused on what's going on or they're not as motivated, your entire team may not be as successful. So just make sure that everybody's always in the loop. The next thing is to make sure that you guys have good communication, because communication is the key to any functional team. And without it, everything can fall apart. You always want to be honest at all times, and with communication, it's important to ensure that each member is being heard. You don't want to have members who feel like their ideas are stupid or have them feel that they're always being shut down. So have an open mind when listening to other team members. And sometimes, like Shady said, it's a good thing to set guidelines ahead of time and like deadlines and stuff like that, so that each member understands what's expected out of them before you guys go ahead and get to work. So you want to remember to have compassion though sometimes, because if you see someone struggling, it's nice to have a hand out there to reach to when things pile up, because I know with school and a lot of people have jobs and clubs outside of school. So it really does pile up a lot really fast. So it's nice to have somebody there who's always supporting you. And then the last thing is there's nothing more important than getting to know your team. Do some team bonding exercises, get to know each other. And speaking from personal experience, the best teams are the teams with people who actually know each other. And honestly, that's the thing you want to remember. You can make being on a team an amazing experience, but you have to want it to be. Don't look at it as something that you have to do. Look at it as something you get to do with people that you're going to enjoy. And you're going to make memories that will honestly last a long time. So you can really enjoy your experience, but you have to want it as well. So back to you, Zach.
Thank you both for that incredible update and information. That's some great advice there that I hope everyone takes. Next up, we have decision making with Amanda.
All right, thank you, Zach. So every day we make decisions whether we realize it or not. It can be something as simple as deciding what shoes you want to wear in the morning, or something more complex like what college you want to go to after high school. It's completely understandable if you feel a little bit pressure in school, but as you get older, you're going to be faced with more responsibilities and have to make tough choices. This is where the importance of decision making comes in. So here are the steps of decision making broken down into 7 parts. So step 1, identifying the decision. The first step to solving a problem or making a decision is realizing that you have one. And then step 2, gather relevant information. Collect information based on the problem before you make your decisions. Collect all the information that is needed, the best sources, and how to get it. Some information will be internal, meaning you'll go through a process of self-assessment. Other information will be found externally online, books, or through other sources and people. Step 3, identify the alternatives. When making a decision, it is hard to know the viable outcome. It's best to construct several alternatives to your situation to provide the best outcome. The best way that this can be done is to write down a list of all the alternatives. Step 4, weigh the evidence. Once you have all the alternatives listed, imagine the outcome of each alternative. As you go through this difficult internal process, you'll begin to favor certain alternatives, those that seem to have higher potential for reaching your goal. Finally, prioritize your order based on what you think is the best choice. Step 5, choose among the alternatives. Once you're ready to select the alternative that seems to be the best one for you. You may even choose a combination of all of them. Step 6, take action. You're now ready to take some positive action by beginning to implement some of the alternatives that you chose. Finally, step 7, review your decision and its consequences. In this final step, consider the results of your decision and evaluate whether or not it has been resolved or that you need to identify in step 1. If the decision is not met, if the decision is not met, you may want to repeat certain steps of the process to make a new decision. For example, you might want to gather more detailed or somewhat different information or explore additional alternatives. So back to you, Zach.
Thank you, Amanda. Decisions are very, very important. Take everything you heard with good advice. Next up, we have stress management with Zahra and Ashley.
Thank you, Amanda, for that great information about decision making. Now, Zahra and I will be talking about stress management. To start off with, identify your sources of stress. It will be much easier to manage and take control of a problem after you know what it is. Stress can come from school, work, friends, and etc. The key is identifying what stresses you out the most and be true to yourself. Now, Zahra will talk about how to manage stress.
I think we're having a little...
Ashley, for that great intro. Sorry about the technical difficulties. My camera kind of cut off. When it comes to stress management, the key is for you to take control. Now that you identified what's stressing you out, try to avoid it. By that, I mean avoid unnecessary stress, whether it is negative friends or unwelcoming places. If you can eliminate it from your life in a positive way, then go ahead. However, not all stress is avoidable, so next option is to change the situation. Whether that means you need to compromise, rebalance your schedule, quit bottling up your feelings, or express your emotions better. Sometimes you can't eliminate a specific stress, but you can try to change how it affects you. Try to take control of it by maintaining a positive attitude. Sometimes it helps to take a step back and evaluate your situation from a neutral outsider viewpoint. Also, practice gratitude to help promote good vibes and remind you of what you have to be thankful for. However, there is a slight disclaimer. Not everything can be controlled, so don't stress yourself trying to change something you absolutely cannot. Constantly beating yourself up for something that happened months ago isn't going to reduce your stress. Isn't that right, Ashley?
That is very true, Zahra. We're all humans and we're bound to make mistakes. However, lingering onto your regrets only results in unhappy feelings. Instead, try practicing positive ways to relieve stress by journaling, sharing your feelings, finding an enjoyable hobby, meditation, yoga, breathing techniques, and other exercises like that. Personally, I handle stress by removing myself from any situation that is completely stressing me out. I just take a second, maybe 2, maybe more sometimes depending on the situation, and breathe. Separate yourself from the problem. Figure out what is making you stressed out. Figure out a game plan. Figure out what you got to get done first, what comes after that. Organization over procrastination all day. I know we all love to procrastinate. If it's not the due date, then it's not really the due date. So I personally understand every word of that. So, but procrastination will tear you down sometimes. So try and organize your life, have a schedule, have a calendar, make sure you have everything that you need to get done for that day done so that you don't have to stress about it later on. What about you, Zahra?
I just always make sure to have time for myself, my family, and my friends. You know, take a moment from all the work just to relax. That's kind of my hobby or my meditation. I also try not to overschedule myself. You know, don't schedule yourself to the minute. Have some flexibility. Make sure, you know, you can't really estimate everything. You get some things wrong. So if you do get something wrong, it's always good to have that little backup hour or so that can allow you to not have to get too much stress and have some leeway in your schedule.
Thank you both for that great information on stress management. Stress can be killer if you don't take it correctly, so make sure to follow that phenomenal advice given to you. We'll now be moving on to job shadowing. Shady, you ready?
Always. Oh, always.
Okay,
So job shadowing is a great way to explore the career options of your choice. It's how you find out what fields you may be interested in and how they really like. I recommend you can do job shadowing any day. All you need to do is call a business or the field that you're interested in and see what's available. But if you maybe worry too much about which day you want to do it, you can do it on November 15th in conjunction with the American Enterprise Day, or you could do it on February 2nd in conjunction with National Job Shadowing Day. So I'll give you a little expert or a little sample that you could say when you're talking to the business professional on the phone to see if you can job shadow or not. So you can say, "Hello, my name is," and then state your name. "I'm a student at," and then state the school, and say, "I'm in a business class, I'm in a medical class, and we're participating in career job shadowing days during the school year. And I'm very interested in shadowing someone who works as an," and then you fill it out. Who are you interested to job shadow? And then you say which day you prefer. And then you politely ask them, "Would you have anyone in this area that I could job shadow for the day?" And they may say yes, they may direct you to someone else. And most of the time, they will direct you to the manager and the supervisor. And you want to stay on the line and talk to them and see what you can do. And even if they say no, thank them so much for their time and effort and see if they can recommend you somewhere else. That's how you try to get the job shadow. But what do you do once you go to job shadow? First, you want to dress for success. And we have a lot of tips available on our previous webinar if you want to check that out as well. And dressing for success doesn't necessarily mean dressing in the top quality suit and the best dress shoes you have. You need to dress appropriately for the activity. You want to make sure that the shoes will carry you throughout the day and dress to blend in rather than stand out. So if you're going to a pharmacy or any medical field and you have a scrub or a lab coat, you should probably have one. If you're going to like a construction site, try to see what they wear and try to use that in a way that you blend in with them as well. And I strongly encourage you to ask questions and take tons of notes during the job shadow. So I'll give you a couple of questions that you could consider in the job shadow. So by the end of the job shadow, you should be able to describe the person's career. You should know what type of education is necessary for a career like this. You should know what special skills are necessary to be successful in this type of career. And you need to know if there are other career choices available for someone with the same skill. You also need to know what type of career advancement is available. Could you maybe advance in education and continue education, and then you can advance to a higher position? You also need to know the salary range so that you have an idea of what you're going into. And you need to know what daily tasks are performed on the job. The typical working hours, are they flexible? Would you have to work on the holidays, on the weekends? Are you okay with that? Would your family be okay? And how you spend your day. You need to share it with your advisor, a friend, on how your day was, and maybe inspire them to do that job shadow as well. So in the end, I can just tell you that job shadow is a critical role of FBLA. We want to explore and know what the future is like, and there's no way to determine what type of career or what do you want to do in the future without experiencing it. We can definitely do that through our job shadowing. So please get on the phone, call the company you need, and make sure that you can schedule a job shadow with them, either during American Enterprise Day, National Job Shadow Day, or any day. Businesses love the opportunity to have a huge impact on the community. You can start that today. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you, Shady. You see, job shadowing is an outstanding start to see whether or not you feel you're fit for a certain job. It sort of gets you a snapshot into that business, but it's only a start. The next step is to go into interning. Look into an internship with a certain business or a corporation over the summer. Email the heads of the business, email someone, your connections, and sort of see whether or not you really feel that you should be a part of that industry, whether or not you really want to go into it. You start off by job shadowing. You sort of see what's going on. You sort of get a feel, a taste for that business, for sort of what you could be doing. But the next step is to really see if day by day, is this something you want to do? You want to get to see a little bit more. So look into interning. And whatever you do with interning, whatever you do with job shadowing, you get whatever you put in. Whatever you put in is what you get out. So if you're there and you're just doing what they tell you, you know, they say, hey, pick up the phone, call these people, email these people, then that's all you're going to get out. You're going to get to see how it is to call people, email people. But if you're actively searching for a role, if you're actively searching, you're going to your boss, you're going to the manager, you're going to the head, you're asking them, how can I help? What are you doing? How can I help you? How can I see what you're doing? If you really get involved, then you'll really get all of that out. In the real world, in the business world, you're valued based off of your connections. So make as many connections as you can. Try to see who you can meet, who you can interact with, you know? There's each step and there's so many things that can be done within an internship. So just make sure you're taking advantage of the opportunities available. Okay, so Kenan, would you like to add anything to any of the items that we spoke on tonight?
Yes, guys, this was such good information, and that I really hope that our viewers, and whoever comes to view will actually take heed to it. But one thing is about it, networking is very important when you start to get into you know, what Zach said about connections and calling up the business owners or key contacts. So this is where your networking skills will come into play. When you go into a bank, you know, if you're doesn't have a business card, you know, may I leave my number and name a number so that you can call me back, or always making sure that you look them face to face, shake their hands, introduce yourself as to who you are, and you're a member of FBLA and what you can offer to that particular company, or how your skills could be beneficial to that company as well as for the stress management. That is something that us as state officers and national officers, and even you as members, because we're all students, when we have trying to balance our classes and schoolwork with our friends and family, as well as, you know, some may have jobs, it's always good, you know, as Zahra said, to take time for yourself. Make sure that you are getting the ample amount of sleep, making sure that you have time to actually complete all your assignments, not overbooking yourself to where you're not staying up late at night trying to complete everything. This was some very good information shared. I know I learned a lot, and I hope that you will continue to strive to step up to the challenge and elevate your future this year. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you so much, Kenan. Thank you really for being here with us tonight. We'll now go ahead and move on to the Q&A portion of the webinar. So the first question is, what is the most important lesson that FBLA has taught you? So who would like to get started with that? Okay, I guess I'll go ahead and go first. So within FBLA, the most important thing that it's taught me is to really make sure that I'm staying on top of things in terms of being able to balance everything. The biggest thing is that work-life balance, that sense of you do have a limit. There is so much that you can do. And when you reach that point, you've got to look at everything and you've got to sort of create a structured organization of your life, what you're doing, you know, your personal life. You always need to find that time, at least 15 minutes a day for you, to go read a book, to go write, to do something just for you, not related to school, not related for work, and you've got to forget it. You've got to take that thing out of your mind and you've got to put it on the back burner for that 15 minutes. Completely forget everything else and just immerse yourself in another activity. Immerse yourself in something for you. You've got to find a way to balance work and life. One of my favorite Roman lyric poets his name is Horace, and he would always say a little bit of foolishness is fantastic in a serious matter. So when you extend the work-life balance, you can extend it to sort of joy and work, joy and stress, and you've got to find a way to balance these things. Find a way to balance happiness with work. Find a way to balance achievement with relaxation. There's that perfect middle line, just like the light and dark, you know, the light side and the dark side, the Jedi and the Sith. There's that middle line, the perfect balance of the two. Who would like to go next?
I can go. FBLA has taught me what the real business life in the future is. It's just taught me how to go out in the community and serve others, whether it's through the community service, the community achievement, the BAA, the Business Achievement Award, or the Community Service Award, from serving, educating, and then having the progress. From going to the leadership conferences, the state leadership conference, the national leadership conference, and getting to network and meet all these incredible FBLA members and seeing their interests, their hobbies, and what they would like to do in the future. This is what FBLA taught me, that you can easily go out in the community and have an impact and leave a lasting legacy.
Any Shady? Zahra?
Thank you, Shady. And Zach. I think the most important lesson FBLA has taught me is that you need to take advantage of the opportunities. With that, you can either go for leadership roles, or you can pursue your BAAs, CSAs, or you can advance your competitions, network with people. There's so many opportunities in FBLA, and I've learned that I need to take advantage of these, at least try and go for them. So that's the most important lesson I've learned.
Thank you, Zahra. That's really incredible advice right there.
For me, it's kind of a combination of what all the other officers have said. FBLA has really taught me on how to communicate with other people and my networking skills just from attending all of my state leadership conferences and the fall conferences and campaigning and getting to meet all of the state officers and getting to meet members across the state. It really just shows you how it really is a small world at the end of the day. And I see people, for example, when we went to California this past summer, like, people would stop me in the hallway and they would ask me like, oh, you're from Florida FBLA. And it's just really amazing to see how it is such a small world at the end of the day. And you get to meet all of these amazing people, and it's all right now. So like Zahra said, you have to take advantage of it while it's still in front of you.
Amanda?
Thank you. So the coolest thing about FBLA is that, you know, it changes you sometimes and you don't even notice. Like, you know, if you go back to how you were when you first started FBLA and compare it to how you are now, you'll be like, wow, I didn't even believe that I was that person that year. Like, I go back to my freshman year, and I think I mentioned this story before. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I was this very shy individual and I couldn't speak in front of people. And it's just something that I didn't like to do. But, you know, going through these experiences, running for office, speaking with people, doing competition that involves presentations and stuff, you know, it makes you grow as a person, and that goes for everyone. I've seen my officers who start off as someone different than who they are today, and it changes them for the better. And I always say that about FBLA, and that's something that it makes me really happy inside. And that's why I really like the organization so much, and I try to encourage people to join, you know, even though they don't realize it sometimes, it really does make you the better version of yourself. So
you couldn't be more right, Amanda. That was really incredible. Thank you. Sort of adding on to what everyone said, take advantage of the opportunities, make the connections, and one way to do that is by running for an office. So right now we're kind of moving towards the state conference period. The district conference has just passed. I don't know if, I know some of the district officers they're moving towards doing elections for district office, or they've already had their elections. But if you're ever on the fence of running for, say, a chapter president, running for a district officer, running for a state office, running for a national office, you just got to do it. Just take advantage of that opportunity and just do it. It doesn't hurt to try. It doesn't hurt to go out there and give it your all. And it's the act of doing that, like Amanda said, it changes you. You get to see more of yourself comes out, and you get to see how FBLA benefits you in the now. And you can sort of see how it benefits you in the future, getting to meet new people. Go to the conferences, NFLCs, go to those. I got to go to St. Louis and New Orleans. I was very fortunate to go to those. And they're incredible. The people that you meet, the guest speakers, the workshops available, every little bit of those events, it's absolutely phenomenal for every single aspect. And it's like that for every single person. So take advantage of the opportunities. If you want to run for, say, state president, you want to run for regional VP, you want to run for state parliamentarian, you want to run for state reporter, you want to run for national president, you want to run for one of the you want to run for Southern Region VP, you want to run for any officer position, just go for it. It doesn't hurt to try.
I think Zach makes a really good point too, because I just want to say that when I had first thought about running for state office last year, a lot of people doubted me. They were like, Nathan, really? This kid who doesn't really ever talk, who always keeps to himself for the most part. You want to go on stage and speak in front of, what was it, almost 4,000 or 5,000 people. But it really does change your life. You just have to try for it. And I know even if you don't win, it's still such an amazing experience to get to meet the other candidates and get to meet people across the state and tell them what you want to do. So it really, like, and even if it's just a local chapter officer, that is still a huge deal to a lot of people. And like Zach said, you really just have to go for it because you never know what can come out of it.
Nathan? Josh?
Something I'd just like to add on is that's absolutely right. These essential skills that you're learning and these lessons and qualities that you obtain from joining FBLA can be implemented to other aspects of your life. So don't just take advantage of officer positions in FBLA at your chapter. Go out in other clubs, organizations, and volunteering and service. So, these are all things that can be implemented during high school to college and so forth. So these are all great life lessons.
Sure. So Kenan, what's the most important lesson that FBLA has taught you? I know that you're a national officer, so you've gotten to see a little bit of a different perspective to all of it.
Yes, so the most important thing that FBLA has really taught me is, again, going back to networking. I have come in contact, with the CEO of Apple. Believe it or not, we were at the National Leadership Conference in Atlanta. He was happened to be coming from a board meeting at the can't remember which hotel I was staying in. It might have been the Hilton, but I got on the elevator with him and didn't realize who it was until we were on like the 6th floor. And I gave him a business card and we had a good conversation. And and FBLA really taught me to always be prepared. That elevator speech, explaining to him what FBLA was and how he wished he had the opportunity to be in FBLA so he could learn valuable leadership skills. Through this organization, I have had the opportunity to attend many leadership conferences and also just get to network with members throughout the country and also through our international chapter, such as China and the Virgin Islands and so forth. So that's one thing that if you really don't learn anything else through the organization, is know that networking is the key to most of your success. You're going to need to know someone or have networked with someone to get where you want to go in life. So I encourage you to at the upcoming leadership conference or your next visit with another chapter to try to network and learn more about someone else and share your experiences with other members. Thank you,
Kenan.
Thank you, Kenan.
So would anyone like to add anything else before we move on? We'll go ahead and keep going. And well, since I got this idea comes from Zahra, we had her Region 4 district meeting last night, and she did this little activity at the beginning of the meeting where she asked everybody to share one thing that they love. It doesn't have to be a person, it can be whatever you want. So right now, just in the spirit of Valentine's Day being tomorrow, we'll go through and we'll do a little bit of Zahra's idea from the meeting and we'll share one thing that we love. Zahra, would you like to get us started?
All right, I will go ahead because right now, we're talking about stress management, but I have actually been getting a little less sleep than I typically should, and it's recommended. So I guess one thing that I love is my stuffed animal because I got it in elementary school as a birthday present, and it just helps me fall asleep. So that is the one thing I currently love right now. Of course, my friends and family, but I'm going to shout out my stuffed animal. His name is Polar. He's a polar bear. I was an elementary kid, so I wasn't very creative, but yeah.
Thank you, Zahra. Shady?
I definitely want to thank my family, and that's what I love. I love my family, and yeah, they're great. They're fantastic. They raised me very well, and I'm definitely blessed to have them. So thank God for the family.
Thank you, Shady. Nathan?
As cliche as it sounds, I'm gonna have to agree with Shady. My family's always been so supportive of me, and I honestly can't ever do anything to repay them for what they've done for me. So I love my family this Valentine's Day.
Kenan? Kenan, you're muted.
Okay. All right, sorry about that. But just like the other three officers, I do want to enjoy my family there again, or I'm truly blessed, as Shady said, to have them. And like Zahra said, I love my sleep, but I don't have a teddy bear. I have a special pillow that I've had since I was in the 3rd grade, so I sleep with that pillow every night. But one thing, and we actually did this activity last night as well through our chapter meeting, but ours was food. And one thing, if you ever have went anywhere with me or went out to eat with me, the only thing that I really eat are hot wings. So that's what I really love besides, my family and sleep. Hot wings.
Thank you, Kenan. Amanda?
So obviously I love my family, I love my friends. They mean a lot to me. But I'm gonna share something a little fun, hopefully. I love Disney. I'm in love with Disney, and my room is like full of superheroes. I don't want to show it. I'm not doing a room tour. Like Star Wars and stuff. But I have a Disney pin collection that I store over here, and my advisor helped me start my Disney pin collection, and like it's just, I don't know. I love it so much. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it, but it means the world to me. I have it hung up, and like my friends know that I love it. So whenever they go to Disney, they get me something. So it's really nice. It's a collectible.
Thank you, Amanda. I know exactly what you mean. I have my little satchel at home. Oh my gosh, pins are so much fun. Okay, Ashley?
I'm not going to go the traditional route, of course. I'm thankful and love my family and my friends and my faith. But I have to tell you, I am in love, absolutely adore my dog Tyson. He is a Yorkie poo, and even though we don't see eye to eye on potty training right now, but I am in love, head over heels. I call him right now. He wakes me up in the mornings, and he's usually the first one to fall asleep at night. So he's something that I love.
Thank you, Ashley. We actually got a sneak peek of Tyson. We got to meet the cast of the Florida State officer team earlier tonight, which was pretty amazing. Okay, so something that I love my family, I love my friends, and one of I'll do something obscure. I'll do a sort of an object or a hobby. I love to read. I also love movies and music. So right now, I'd have to say I'm sort of in the realm of rom-coms. And so I'd have to go with my favorite movie that I currently love is probably either Say Anything or High Fidelity, which are very old movies, but they're very, very good. And guys, those are good date movies. Word of advice. Okay. So we'll go ahead and wait. I don't think we have any more questions. Zahra?
Oh, sorry. I don't have anything to add. Yeah.
Okay, so since we don't have any more questions, we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope you all had, again, a phenomenal FBLA PBL week, and I hope you got to learn from the advice that we were able to give to you on the FBLA PBL Essentials. Enjoy your Valentine's Day tomorrow. Have a great night, and make sure to get some sleep. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for inviting me.